let me clarify what Leah Remini is referring to when she makes reference to 5,000 internal documents that have now come to light. It's a little strange to use that language exactly. These are 5,000 of Mike Rinder's personal documents that Leah Remini found out a year ago he has been had in his possession since he left Scientology in 2007. In fact, it was Leah finding out that Mike had never told her about these 5,000 documents that he had that led to them having somewhat of a falling out over the year prior to Mike Rinder's death. It's actually why Leah Remini never visited Mike Rinder during the year that he had been diagnosed with cancer until he had a few weeks to live, and then she visited him because of how furious she was when she discovered that Mike Rinder had these internal documents this entire time and had never told her about it, even when they were making a TV show about Scientology for 3 years. And in fact, when Mike finally what do I want to say, shared the documents, he only shared them with one person, Mark Headley. And then Mark Headley pretended that the documents never came from Mike Rinder. And the problem, the inconvenient truth of these documents is that Mike Rinder's own internal documents that he took with him when he left Scientology show definitively that Mike Rinder was involved and complicit in the cover-up of child sex abuse of Scientologists. And whereas we might assume that all Scientology Sea Org members who worked in the Office of Special Affairs were complicit in such activity, prior to Mike Rinder's death, he did an interview where he was asked that question point blank, and stated definitively that he never participated in or had any knowledge whatsoever of any cover-up of child sex abuse in Scientology. And then you look at his documents and it shows that that was an absolute lie. So this is one of the reasons, and then unfortunately, Leah Remini's wagon is forever hitched to Mike Rinder. And prior to Mike Rinder's death, Leah basically declared war on any ex-Scientologists who dared criticize Mike Rinder for this inconvenient truth, and also for the inconvenient truth that in Mike Rinder's time on the board of Child USA, he claimed involvement with and certainly had knowledge of a multi-year look-back window in the state of California where any victims of child sex abuse could file a lawsuit, in this case, ex-Scientologists. Any ex-Scientologist who had ever been a victim of child sex abuse under the care of Scientology in the state of California could file a lawsuit without any statute of limitations applying. And while Mike Rinder served on the board of Child USA, that look-back window opened and closed without Mike Rinder telling any of the rest of us in the ex-Scientology community, including those of us who were closest to him at the time, myself, Leah Remini, Mark Headley, Claire Headley, et cetera, et cetera. None of us were even told about this look-back window. None of us were told that it existed. None of us were asked to help find people to file lawsuits against Scientology. And in fact, the only ex-Scientologist who filed a lawsuit against Scientology under this look-back window is the one who is currently suing David Miscavige, Gavin Potter, the Church of Scientology International, in the lawsuit known as Jane Doe versus Gavin Potter, David Miscavige et al. That lawsuit was filed without help from and without even the knowledge of Mike Rinder. So these are two very inconvenient truths, and is the reason why Leah Remini refers to these 5,000 documents as simply 5,000 internal documents that have now come to light, instead of properly attributing the documents to their rightful owner, which is Mike Rinder.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.